Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So today I've got a download. They kind of taught me a new healing technique to remove cords. Because what was my question? I was like, Spirit, we're always removing cords, but what about those cords that are like healthy relationships? Like do we just keep removing those? And they kind of came in with a little bit more insights. So I'll read this part. Insights for effective cord removal and still maintain healthy boundaries so you can still be open and connected. They said there's two types of connections. The first one is a cord, right? We talk about cords all the time. Those are people who kind of like latch on. They said that a cord, this kind of cord, it takes or depletes. It latches on and is permanent. The second type of attachment is a bond. And so bonds are built and strengthened. There's no attachment. So that's like when you get with a friend and you guys come together, you have that healthy bond. You're not really connecting to them. You're not connecting to their source and taking from them. It's almost like you meet in the middle. You're like, this is what I have to offer. And then they offer up what they have. You mix it and create, and then there's just no attachment to the other, they said. So really, there's no need to remove a bond because it's just there. It's not taking. And then they did go into a third one, which was binding. But they said, we will not teach you about that, but know that by working to remove energetic cords, you set yourself up for success even before it starts. So binding is when someone tries to energetically like contain and trap you and enslave you. And so, phone's gonna die. And so by removing cords and those unhealthy attachments to people, there's no way that someone could come and bind your energy. So that was just an extra third note they threw in there. But they said a lot of people are confused between the difference between a cord and a bond. Even myself, because I asked the question. But one example, family dynamics. A lot of people think that they have bonds with families because they grew up together. But in fact, a lot of family dynamics, people are rather bonded by cords rather than the bond, attached by cords rather than the bond. And what do I mean by that? Take a house. Everyone has to coexist in that house. And sometimes other people have power over others and authority, and you have to do what they say. And so you do things just to keep the peace. And so their thing was, the only reason why some people engaged in it was because they had to. They were forced to stay in that box. And so, right, you have to do what your mom says, right? But do you? I think a lot of things that we do out of pattern and habit is like so hardwired in us that, again, it goes back to what is a cord? It takes or depletes. It's something permanent. It's not letting you be free to float and do what you want. Every family dynamic is different. Just know that in a lot of family relationships, there's a lot of cords to be released. And that is not to say that all families are toxic, because some families have wonderful bonds, and you can tell it because they don't force those people. They let them grow. People with bonds, they get stronger over time. The people evolve and become the best versions of themselves in a loving way, not in that OCD kind of way. So what's the next part? Okay, they went into the cords, and so they showed me this mirror. They put this mirror in front of my solar plexus. It's almost like a mirror on the wall type thing. Sure, Alice through the looking glass. Sure, but it really was like, you have like those wrapping cellophane things that's like pink, purple, blue shimmer. It was almost something like that, but it was like a mirror. Whew, getting chill. And so you look through this mirror, and on the other side, you see the person. And so that person, they're there. And on the other side of the mirror, nothing can be hidden on this side of the veil. In the 3D where we are, oh yeah, things can be hidden and deceptive, right? There's so much spirit around us and we don't see it. But on the other side, everything is seen, everything is known. All the light is out, all the dark is out. It's just, I'm seeing almost like an addict where they put all the stuff and like forget about it. That's what this place kind of is, because there's just so many cords and things building in these places, but we can go into here and clear. So what they showed, you look through this mirror, you see the other person. On your side is your pure energy, on this side of the mirror. Nothing's taking from you. Shine your light through the mirror, you see them. The cords showed up as like these whitish gray, stringy, like substance that kind of like latched onto you. It was very cloudy and milky and like I said, just very stringy. And then they showed me what a bond was, and this bond, this was kind of like, you know, it's just stringy cords and things. And then when they showed me a bond was like a golden column. It was so thick that like this and this, it's funny that we get these two confused, because like, how is this? They're not the same. Oh, that smells good. Yeah, so then there was those, 111 here. Yeah, okay, so then it said, on your side is the pure potency. You go through, you look at the illusions. So now there's that person. What are you seeing? And the guides say, like, use what works for you. I just found that these two are so separate that there's no way that you can mistake the golden bond. Even when the dark kind of came, I'm getting ahead of myself, it couldn't hide. And so, yeah, I would see these gray things. And so, what was their suggestion? They said, when you have these, right, cut cords. We want to cut cords all the time because we don't want these unhealthy attachments to other people. But if you cut the cord in that place and it falls down, it could reattach itself. Right? Once you go back through the mirror, you close that door. It's just energy that we haven't quite gotten rid of. We need to take that, right? Especially like Reiki healers, like they put it in their energetic garbage can or something. Like you do need to remove it. And so what the guide said is like, you can cut. We love that you cut, but check out this vacuum. And I was like, there's a vacuum? And so on the other side, they kind of came and they turned on this vacuum, and it like sucked it up into this canister. And like now that this canister, it's like sealed it and like given to source to, you know, special delivery. It's like almost in one of those things like Jetsons. And they said this way, there is no way that that cord energy is in your field at all. You and that person's bonds are done. And when you go back through the mirror and you close that, that's sealed. So then they went into the gold bonds, right? We have these golden bonds. And it's interesting. I went to someone, I was like, just an example. And when I saw this person, there was a bond, but it was smaller than the other bonds I saw. And when I looked at it, there was all this white cloudy strings all around it, almost like trying to choke it out. And then like a black veil. And that's what I mean, is like the darkness can't hide. And so in the 3D, what I thought was interesting is I kind of had these like cord feelings from this person, like a take. But then instantly one day they just like switched around and was like so adamant on building a bond. And I see now that by building that bond, it kind of hid the toxic cords that should have been addressed in better boundaries. And so that's my own fault. And I looked at it, right? Vacuumed away all the cords and things like that. And then what was left was the bond. And then, so I looked at my guides and I said, okay, so now that this situation's been cleared, does that mean that we can have forgiveness and move on forward? And so I don't want to mess up what they said. Oh yeah. I asked, what does this mean? Can we forgive and move forward? They then, oh yeah, they then came back because there was just this golden bond sitting there. And then the guides then came back and like karate chop, took like a samurai sword and like nixed that bond. Because the bond kind of like floats in the air. It is attached in that reality, but it's not attached to you in this one, if that makes sense. So I was like, so we have this bond now, all the cords are gone, can we heal, forgive, and move forward? And then they cut that bond. Then I heard again, hi-ya, and they cut the bond, and then it fell to the ground and said, they will pay their weight in gold. They then showed me all the good times and energy that you put into this connection. They said, the guides were like, we don't want you, right? Especially when you're a person that is just so open-hearted and then you get betrayed by someone and you're just like, damn it, like I just want to be nice. I just want to be like this. Am I really supposed to come out of the gate like this? And Spirit's like, no, we love that you show your heart that way. And so with this bond was cut, but they didn't remove the bond. They let the bond sit on the floor and said they will pay their weight in gold, that golden bond. Because now that all the sneaky, deceptive things are gone, all the trickery behind the scenes, when you leave back out of that mirror, seal it, they're going to be left with just how kind you were to them. And that will be the biggest karma that they could ever face, knowing that they fumbled a golden opportunity to build a bond with you. And that even in the face of malicious actions behind the scenes, that you stayed pure, you stayed true to your heart, you stayed golden. Spirit's like, we don't want you to turn cold. We love that you are open. And so this bond is still there for them to remember. These are the oldie golden memories, they say. They'll look back one day. And then it said, they do not want you to feel bad for giving, for being loving. It's your natural state of being, love. They fumbled it and no longer have the energetic cords to keep you attached. It said you cannot quite be both. Right? You can't be someone's ally and at the same time have ill will wished on them. And then it said, we left the good memories and are not concerned if those reattach. For you have cleared the cobwebs and shut the door. Now they will be left with the old memories of how you were one of the bonds that wished them well, and that will hurt them knowing that they really fumbled that golden opportunity. Don't change your heart. Keep being gold. Stay gold. Then, because I was like, well, that's sad. Like, and then they wrote back, because I was like, do you have to close every door of someone who has a cord? Like, because in this case, like, I wasn't ready to shut it, but they came and they were like, did you see all the extra hidden things? They didn't want you to see this, because on the 3D side, energy, we can't see that. But on that side, man, they were like choking out that bond. And then, so anyways, it said, not every cord is toxic. Sometimes people can just be uneducated when it comes to energetic cords and bonds. sometimes clearing your energy is exactly the reset that you need in order for the proper boundaries to form. And that's it. When you have cord attachments to people, it's because you didn't have proper boundaries at some point. You let them kind of cross something that they just weren't welcome to. And then, you know, if you give an inch, they take a mile. So that's the end of that. This is a totally different insight for a totally different reading. What's our time? 15 minutes? Let's pull a card or two. I got these ones. Uh-oh. I got the golden cards. So that's the perfect one. That's what we want. We want to build bonds. We do want to be a part of community and have healthy relationships with everyone. We don't want to be so scared of everyone and think that everything's toxic and remove all the bonds and end up alone and isolated. I do know a lot of us really enjoy our own company because, well, you're golden. So how can you bring more golden opportunities into your life? That's the question, Spirit. More golden opportunities, more golden friendships, more golden bonds into our life. It's this one. This one. Okay, so the first one that we had was the Three of Wands in reverse, which would be going off into starting a new adventure. Oh. Okay. How can we bring in more gold into our life is the question. And we had the Three of Wands in reverse. Three of Wands in the upright would be like a new opportunity, a new something. But behind there is the Seven of Cups. In each one of these cups, there is a choice. You can pick this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. But not all of them are equal. You look here, this cup's got all the jewels. This one's got a snake. Is this snake bad? I don't know. It could be healing. It could be Kundalini. Like, what is this? What's this little ghost? There's someone hiding in there. And so what Spirit's telling me is that these are all the different relationships that you have chosen to bring into your life. And so in order to bring more golden opportunities, we really need to weed out the poor choices. I feel like they're showing me that you consistently pick the cord type friendships. And it's because you like whatever is in that cup. Whatever it is that kind of fills you up. When you start working on that, that's when you can now choose a better cup. Because once you choose that one cup, that cup is not going to backstab you. It's not going to betray you. It's not going to anything. But why are you not picking that cup? I'm hearing you don't think you deserve it. They're also saying, how can you know what you want if you never had it? I think that there's got to be at least one golden opportunity in everyone's life, one golden bond that has shone brighter than the others. And they're saying yes. So what brought that bond into existence, they say? What was the initial coming together? What was that choice that brought you together? And then they're saying for those who are cords, right? Do this visual. You'll kind of know, oh, this one's a cord. Oh, this one's a bond. I didn't even know that. Like, you'll be surprised that people who you don't think have your back actually have like such beautiful bonds with you, and they mean you so well. So don't be tricked by illusions and cups. All right. This one here looks to be the best cup to choose. But I'm this one is instant regret, they say. So I don't know, it's just trying something new. Don't go for the easy at the beginning, because that's what I'm seeing is like someone coming to push your boundaries. And rather than you taking the hard road and setting those boundaries, you took the easy way so someone could get past it, they're saying. So the next one, 7 of Swords, 7 of Wands. This is conflict. This is fighting. This is you taking your swords and be like, I'm not going to have to keep cutting all these cords because I'm going to make wiser choices and who I bring into my energy. Especially with this skill, seeing now through this veil of this mirror, you can't be fooled. You're going to make the best choice from the very beginning because you're going to see who's gold and who's not. They're saying, stop giving some people the benefit of the doubts. Because I'm seeing love bombing. And we can get so caught up in someone throwing gifts and all that and praise and like, oh, you're the best, I love you so much. But through that, what is really going on? That's what they should say. Anything else in this? I'm hearing 1, 2, 3, O'Leary or something, and it's like the caterpillar from the horse unicorn movie. The last unicorn. You're a unicorn. You're the last unicorn. And then so this caterpillar comes and he he's a trickster energy. Won't give a straight answer, those kind of things. And so that's what they're saying is be careful with trickster energy. Look through the looking glass and see what kind of cord or bond you're building. Don't let it go too far, because sometimes, like, you know, I'm seeing someone be sarcastic or playing and it hurts you, it burns you, but you're like, oh, they were just joking. But then through the looking glass on that side, things are growing. So you have access to this to go see all the time what's going on. I promise you, on this side, you can't hide. It's almost like, you know, on a computer when you have a website and then you pull up like all of the C file or whatever those things are called, and it's like blah, that's kind of what it is. It's like on the other side of this veil, it's like nothing is hidden. All the data is there. Just like a computer. Exactly like that. So I feel like that's complete. Are we complete? They say no. Why are we not complete? They say pull charm. Okay. Okay, what do we got? Well, I've got a little flower. I've got a golden flower. And I got a cross. And the cross has black around it and it's see-through in the middle. Shoom, shoom. I feel like that is exactly, this is like my little mirror. It's like I could see through all the darkness and things. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. I do have some charms pulled right here on this really cool story that I've been reflecting on for the past day, and I kind of feel like this is a little bit in it as well. But there is something to do with these roses, these flowers. So in the other one, it was all about like alchemy. It's like turning this one into gold. So what does this have to do? Oh, that's what they're saying. Stop seeing people for their potential. This one is pink. This one is gold. Up close, we have this little pearl type embellishment. So we'll say that's the white cord. This one cannot be turned into gold. They're different. What does this one want to have to offer? Oh yeah, and not to fall for the potential. So sometimes you do have people who have these kind of cords and you're like, and you feel it and you know that it's taking from you and it is depleting you. But you're like, yeah, but they have potential to be golden. Yes, they do have potential, but are they doing the work? Do they want to do the work? What is on the other side of that veil? Because I promise you, any answers that you really need, any data, any facts, it's there in like black and white. That's what's so great about that side. It is black and white, even though it's whitish gray and gold. It is very everything in one place, they say. So yeah, stop seeing people that you know are taken from you and stealing and leeching your energy and hoping for the best, that you can change them and turn them into this golden bond, because that's just not how energy works. So the best we say is to remove that cord, to vacuum that cord up, leave that space, and maybe something new can grow. And then this time, when they come back knocking on the door, you're gonna have better boundaries to let them back in. So we'll leave it there. I would love to share this reading with you, but I feel like it's getting long. Yeah, we're gonna stop it there. Yes, so we'll leave it there. Have a good day. Bye, guys. Okay, so I definitely wasn't done, but I also didn't have all the information. So, I wanted to touch on this little cross again. When I looked at it, I knew that it wasn't talking about the actual, like cross, Jesus Christ, that kind of thing. And it's almost like the see-throughness of it was important, but I didn't understand what that meant. Like I knew I wanted to talk more on it, but it's not the cross itself. Anyways, didn't realize this until the next day when I actually was doing daily card pull. And then this one came out and it just blew my mind. Not only does it have the circle and the cross inside it, it's almost like the two. Okay, so what does this card even, I guess I know what it represents to me. Let me explain to you what it represents. So this card is more so in the southern hemisphere. So when I went to South America, I went to a place, and that's where I learned about the Andean cross. So when you look at it, it's called Chicana, but it's also known as the Andean cross. And so one of the well-known ones is at Machu Picchu. And on June 21st, I believe that's it, June 20th, June 21st, when the summer solstice kind of lines up, the light hits it. And so it's only a stone that's like this. Take away the top layers. It's just a stone that's kind of like that. But when the sun hits it, it creates a shadow and builds the bottom half of it. And what the Andean cross represents is how you work through the different layers and spirituality, right? As above, so below. It's kind of that thinking as well. And so I probably should have like Googled and got a little bit more insights on this, but I learned that back in like 2011 when I went to Peru. And when I went to Peru, I didn't study it at all. In fact, I booked my flight. I was so nervous because I was not a well-traveled person, but I woke up from a dream. I woke up one day and I was like, book a trip to Peru. And that made no sense to me, but I did it. I found a website and I found like a group tour and stuff where I'd feel safe. Booked it a year in advance because I was like, well, I don't know what to do. I gotta learn. I don't know. Just safety was a huge thing. And so because I doubted my safety, I actually ended up going to school for travel and tourism because my travel agent did not make me feel safe at all. She wasn't able to answer any of my questions. It pretty much was just her wanting to make the booking and get the commission. So I went to school for travel and tourism thinking I would learn about Peru or something. I ended up actually getting high honors because I think when you are learning about something that you're passionate about. And I love the world. I do. I love the world as a whole. I want to go everywhere and breathe the air and see all the cool places, especially the old ancient places. So yeah, booked this flight, went there. Didn't do my research. I was a little bit ignorant in that, but I knew that I was in this group, that I was safe. It still gave me flexibility to go off and do my own things and make my own mistakes, but then come back to the safety of the group and see everything. And in like 3 weeks, we went everywhere. I think we only stayed in like one place, like 2 days max. And so the Incas, I've been thinking about this too. And that's why, like, this black on the cross, did you know in Cusco, there's McDonald's there, but in Cusco, it's, I believe, I don't know since then if it's changed, but it's the only place in the world that has black arches. And so Cusco for the Incas was like the heart of that. And so there's where the black arches are, right in the center. And so what I said I should have done a little bit more research on is there is an animal associated to each layer. I do remember that the upper layer, like the center layer, I believe is jaguar. The upper layer is the condor, right? Because we're in South America. And the underground one, that's the one that I don't remember, but I want to say it's a snake. I'm not positive. But it is pretty much, it takes it and you can kind of go into your spiritual journey. It's like a way through the underworld up to the top. Whatever progress you are in your spiritual journey is what the Andean cross is good for. So what about, they wanted me to talk about, okay, so as again, I said, I just went there. I didn't really know what I was doing. I put all the trust into my tour guide to take me to all the cool places. And he did. And he was awesome. And when I got home, I saw all these places through my eyes. I didn't have the tour books and the things kind of taint my vision of it. I got to feel, I got to feel exactly as it unfolded. I tapped into my intuition and my memories, and 2 really cool things happened because I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really know what the next city was going to bring. I remember I was sitting on a bus and I was just watching the mountains go. We were coming from the highest evolution, and then there was this place. Oh, so there's this prophecy. Let's go to the prophecy first. So there's a book I read called The Eagle and the Condor Prophecy. And that prophecy is when the masculine and the feminine energies merge together and blend what they do. And so in the book, it talked about South America being more of the feminine energy. They're more soft, especially their mountain range, the Andean mountain range. It's grown. It's not really growing anymore. In fact, it's starting to decrease because it's been eroding. It's softened. Whereas where I'm in North America, we're the masculine energy. And so our mountain range, I grew up just outside the Rocky Mountains. That's that, right? They're still growing. The plates are still pushing each other up. And we do live in 2 totally different worlds. In North America, we are the masculine energy. Masculine energy just means action and doing and, just think, what role do you hold the masculine up to? Well, us in North America, we have a lot of that. We really need to kind of bring in our feminine. And so I think that's what the thing is bringing the 2 together. So when the eagle and the condor, because in North America, the bald eagle, right? The eagle. But then in South America, it's all about the condor. So when the eagle and the condor come together, that old and that new, that masculine and that feminine, and blend, that's when there will be this like really peaceful, harmonious time on Earth. And I do believe now we could take the Andean cross and now we can call this the actual cross. We can take those 2 energies and blend them. What is the story that it wants to share with us? How is it that we can go a deeper level and navigate our self-conscious? I do feel like religion itself is a good way to help you pull you out of the darkest times. But I feel like this one is more shamanism, going within and working with the energies of the earth to actually see what's hidden. And if you can't see what's hidden, how do you know what to be kind of ask for help to be released from? I hear my guide say, some people don't need to know, they just literally need to help. So someone who's having a hard time surrendering, for you, your angels and guides say, all you have to do is ask for help. You haven't been asking us for help. We have signs and synchronicities all around, but just ask for help. For the others, it is that blending of the two. If you find you're very assertive and you're in that masculine energy, especially if you're in North America, we need that passion and that nurturing. And I don't know, I just really loved going to South America because it was a different vibe altogether. I liked it. And so, yeah, I had 2 more charms, but I threw them back in there, and there's just way too many for me to actually go through and pick. But one of them, I believe, was, it was like, is this then? It was the flowers. And I remember one being smaller and different. And so again, that is the masculine and the feminine. It's like the eagle and the condor prophecy, the two coming together. But what really stood out in that book for me was the mountains, and how we're still growing in North America and how the other one has the wisdom. I don't know, I just found that so fascinating. I love the mountains. I miss the mountains so much. I used to like drive to work because I used to be from a small town, and then I would go to the city to work, and on the way there was the mountains, and like it was so hard to like not just keep going straight for the mountains. I always had to like turn to the city, which was hard for an introvert mountain loving girl. So yeah, I just wanted to share those insights. I feel like there's more to it always, but I feel like finally that Andean cross, right? Especially in the stars, where we are, North America again, I keep thinking, oh, you see the Big Dipper, and then the Southern Cross got brought up, and I'm so unfamiliar with like that portion of stars, right? And I remember when we went there, we went to this place. It was like a little island, like it was by Lake Titicaca, and then we took a boat for like a really long time, and we went to this village that was so isolated that they just very rarely let kind of people in. Like you bring an offering and then you'd kind of come to their homes and things like that. But we went to this celebration and we had to put on their traditional clothes and stuff, and it was like 10 skirts. But I remember walking home and looking up at the skies, and I saw the stars in a way that I've never seen the night sky. And I'm from a small town that when I'd look up, it would be like magnificent. Not so much in the city. Where I am now, there's just a lot of clouds, so I don't see it as much. But that time when I was in Peru and I saw the sky, that was the most breathtaking, magical thing. And because I wasn't in my quadrant, I was out of my comfort zone. It was so new, and you know, we're so used to the sky. We're like, oh, there's the Big Dipper, there's Orion's belt. Well, this one was like, you couldn't pick and say what you already knew. You just had to sit there and marvel at it. And so that's one of my favorite moments, is that night sky from that trip. Just wanted to share that with you. So have a good day. We'll see you next time. I feel like this is completed and I'm happy. So have a good day. Peace out. Bye.